Well, today was like a holiday. It's July 11th. There were two people in Bayside I'd never met and never recognized, but they look traditionally American. Oh my God, it's amazing they do exist. Well, I don't know how they found us hanging out in Starbucks, but it was a nice visual change to all the ugly that they got going on around here so naturally. I was speaking to, I was mentioning to Craig because he was speaking about his thoughts, which I've heard, because Tia Frio says the same thing about what's going on in the world with, like, they're trying to, like, key op word, he must have repeated about 50 times, so I think his Antonucci is picking up on wave function of subjugate, S-U-B, and then it would be J-E-C, S-U-B, right, and then it's G-A-T-E, the linkage, and so I said to him, I said, let me ask you a question, Craig. I was like, first of all, I was like, he's like, well, it's like all those the people in the think tank. And I'm like, yeah, like who are they? Because I'd love to have a conversation with think tank idiots. I was like, because here's the thing, we're sitting in front of Starbucks on Northern Boulevard, and all I see are cars, C-A-R-S, like automobiles everywhere. Like they just keep going, and they are the ugliest. I mean, if you sit at a car lot, and you look at all of the new cars for this month, and then you times whatever their sales quota is in Idiot and Stupidville. I mean, I didn't need to have the cars manufactured. I could have done it with jelly beans. I could have done it with little micro machines, being the little Hot Wheels, WHEELS. If you do like little itty bitty, the toy machines, remember when they used to come in metal, right, for the boys? Right, Joseph Caselli used to love them, and so did Kevin Malak. But anyway, so you have just like, I don't know, say 5 of those, right? And then how many cars do you want per month, per state, what's your quota, then per year? Great, okay, so just go mold me some of those and dump them on, great. And then how many years are you planning on doing this stupid fucking plan and ruining the world? I'm just curious, for a couple of greasy bucks and a real fucking big problem in the end. Right, okay, so keep dumping on like all of their quotas that they gotta sell. And then, and now you're gonna go from Ford to Dodge to BMW to Hyundai to Jeeps to Acura to Lexus to Infiniti. How many more? Okay, keep it coming, because they're fucking just as stupid all around the world apparently, and now they're having a stupid party right in New York. Right, okay, so we would just do the little Hot Wheels, and then in 1 year, I mean 1 month really, with all of your stupid manufacturers. It's not just Jeep, it's not just Ford, it's not just Dodge, it's not just Chrysler, it's not just American anymore. Now you want foreign imports, right? Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Alfa Romeo, right? Okay, so now the one little pile now is layered, right? And the little Matchbox car, do you realize how big your pile of shit is when they're all just, and then you add years to that. How are you going to clean this mess up? I'm just curious, because these idiot humans keep thinking that they need a new car every couple of years. They don't know where their old car's going to go. The assholes like the Jap crap, the Korean assholes, and the Chinese dicks, right? They all will just make to suit as much as you shitbags put into order, just so they have a place in the world. So, why are we giving them the opportunity? Why are you continuing to ship them in? Who told you could trade these things? I'm pretty sure I spoke with Greg about this too. I'm like, they getting all hot-headed about 9/11. I'm like, here's the thing. Look at it from humans fucked up. Somebody sent a sign from God. It was a World Trade Tower. There was 2 traders. Yeah? It took both traders and world territory down at the same time. Look at that. We thought that everybody would get the fucking message back in 2001 to stop, like, the trading, but apparently they don't fucking get a message. And I would have hit Wall Street personally and taken out the entire exchange of money assholes, but apparently you don't fucking do smart things in this world. You just take down World Trade Center towers in New York City for no reason. It's not like it helped anything. You still continued flights, air flight. You still continued trading. You still talk to the assholes and bust them into our lands that they're not allowed on. So I'm like, so who sits in these think tanks? I'm just curious because, like, those little micro machines, I'm pretty sure if you had that many, right, from the toy manufacturer, Mattel or whatever, and you, like, brought it to the center of the boardroom table, and you just spilled them all out, you're like, okay, so this is what it looks like. Year 2020 or whatever year. You're no better off. In fact, you're in a much worse position. Now everybody's moving. Now everybody thinks that they need this garbage in the center of the table. They won't let it go, and now they won't listen to you even more than before you, like, reinvented the wheel with some magic to make the wheel move, and you discontinued the horse farmers and the horses around the world. We said, you need wheels, make it a bicycle with no engine. You have some fancy communications job where you have to get from one town to another. Great, give them an engine. But, like, limited. Why is it that everywhere I look is a moving vehicle that's automated, and there's so many of them? You realize, like, the average New York family has anywhere between 1 to 5 cars? 1 to 5. Why? It is a disaster to manage and to live near. Like, I can barely breathe. I said that to Craig too. He's like, you gotta go out walking. I'm like, yeah, well. And here's the other thing. I was saying last night about Eric at Frank Russo's 4th of July party, the year that Kevin Flaherty, who I didn't even know went to school with me. I don't even know what school he went to. I think it was Lloyd Harbor, maybe, Gold Spring Harbor, I don't know. Never seen him before. So, but Eric said that he was in my school. However he knew that, I have no idea. So I think they said that they knew each other's friends or whatever. I'm like, the guy with the Boston hat. I don't know. He said something about baseball with the big B, whatever. So that was that. Yeah, Frank's daughter. Frank had 3 daughters. It was Gemma, Tara, and Carrie. Were his 3 daughters that I used to hang out with. They were really nice kids. I haven't seen them in years. Let's think about this. Right, so when Eric was there, he was looking at my eyes because, I'm not supposed to have glasses. My grandmother, Mariah, she went by Marie, and Mariah was in Ireland, but when she came here, she used the name Marie. So Marie had glasses for I don't know what reason, but she also had, like, muscular dystrophy towards the end, which I will go into that in a second. Then there was Aunt Carol, had glasses, and my mother. The 2 sisters that were the closest genetics, more G under, being Gunder, God genetics, than Judy had more kinky, curly, like Jason Romer hair, like my son Daniel. And then my Aunt Marie, who visually looks like the Kaiser from World War II in Germany. Very square jaw, and the way, I don't know, her head's shaped. They didn't need glasses. Their eyes worked fine. Different genetics, I think. Same family, but just a different level of vulnerability, I suppose, to sunlight. Let's think about this. So I was not supposed to have glasses, that much I know. Then there's something, there's never been something called a thyroid disease in all the history of man. THRO I think it's spelled, I don't know, I need paper to write it out, but now they're saying that you need levothyroxine or Synthroid, some synthetic white pill that you have to take once a day for the rest of your life in order to get your thyroid levels. But now, I was 15 or 16 when the doctor prescribed it. I think it was Dr. Herzog, Hertzog, in Bayside. He was a gynecologist. He insisted that I had a thyroid problem. I didn't even know what it was. Then he put me on the medication right away, which, in hindsight, all of this is all a bunch of hooey and phooey, because quite frankly it's all based on genetic laboratory testing on a computer system that the numbers mean absolutely nothing unless you give them a base numeric range and you bring meaning to the numbers. For humans, like, you don't just go, oh, okay, so you'd say, like, okay, so, right, I'm the doctor in the situation, so what's the normal average human? Right, okay, but there's genetic differences between, like, the facially disfigured and, like, myself. So, like, my thyroid level and their thyroid level, you can't do, like, a cross-analysis and say, like, it's the same. Can't do averages that way. Can't do statistics that way. Right, like, this is human health. This is, like, an interference. This is, like, a big thing. So I'm confused why they're pushing so many drugs that people don't need, but insisting that the people need them, and making up disease names that were never such before. It's not like they just discovered thyroid disease. It's they invented it and made it up, and then sold it and marketed it, and brought the intellect down of the humans to even question it. So I tell Craig about the story of, so thyroid disease came out of nowhere, and the glasses thing, because throughout, like, history, there was not a problem with eyesight. Like, there was very rare cases, just like there's rare genetic cases of different things around the world. For the most part, people were able to see without needing strengthening glasses or whatever. That was just, again, to sell more of an idea down the wrong path, to take focus off of other stuff. It's like a give and take. Okay, so, like, I'll manufacture 100,000 cars of nobody gives a shit, nobody needs, but then you're gonna pass off 100,000 glasses a month and tell the people that they need the glasses to make their eyes weaker. We'll take care of the computer part on our end of ruining their irises. It's part of the Osiris project is, my private part of the house project is reporting on all of your human disgusting things that you're doing to one another, as I'm not one of you. Never will be. Never want to be. One of us actually cares about others and wants to make things better. The rest of you just fucking want to shit on each other and play games. It's fucking bloody obvious. So I said to Craig, I said, let me ask you a question. I was like, I told him about Joe, being that he called about an email that he got about a charge on a credit card. Then all of a sudden, he gets on the phone with the guy and he loses his mind, and he's opening a checking account online for this stranger over the phone and wiring $4,000. Like, even when my dad was telling me the story, I'm like, I'm not following the story, Dad. He calls because it's a charge on his credit card that's fraudulent and he's not happy about. And then the same guy that he's reporting it to, he opens a checking account and wires the guy $4,000. Why is he giving him $4,000? What was the reasoning? What did Joe give? He's like, I don't know. He just did. He didn't know. His sons were all worried about him. And so I said to Craig, I was like, what do you think that's all about? And he's like, I don't know. He got scammed. He got taken. I was like, humans are really that feeble-minded that it's that easy for somebody to talk into a phone and coerce them into sending $4,000 and opening a checking account for a stranger? Really? No, I was like, what if I told you that it might have something to do with the fact that if you have a computer, you can break into somebody's thought process and their genetics? And Craig's like, well, I guess that's possible, but he's like, I'm not part of, like, the CIA or, like, anything like that. So he's like, I'm not the upper elite. He's like, so I really wouldn't know or be the, like, person to ask on that. I'm like, but it's possible. He's like, yeah, I guess so. I'm like, yeah, it is.